What's going on, guys? It's a beautiful day today because we've got a new kit to check out from Kotobukiya's Sosai Shoujo Teien line of high school girl plastic model kits here. This lovely lady is Koyomi Takanashi, and we're going to be taking a look at her today. So if you guys aren't familiar with this line, I did review the first release in the line. This is the second main release. They've also put out a couple of different accessories. Usually every time they do like a main kit, they'll also put in an accessory set as well too. I've not reviewed any of the accessory sets yet, but I think I probably will with the third release. They're putting out like a set of umbrella parts, which look pretty cool. But for now, let's just go ahead and check out Koyomi. So the front of the box here is just going to be done in the same style as with the first release, and probably all the releases in this line, where it's a vertical style box art with just this nice big illustration of the character. So nothing really showing the kit or anything, but you got an idea of what the character design is anyway, and very nice illustration there, and you got a little signature down there at the bottom as well too. Same thing here on the end of the box, there's a close-up version of that, and you got the 1/10 scale full action plastic model kit. Here on this side, you can see what the kit is going to look like, just built up straight out of the box without painting or stickers or anything else applied to that. I don't think there's any stickers included, but yeah, just for reference, no stickers or anything on that. And your face options here, once again, we've got 3 different face options with this kit, and then also some glasses you can use with it, and a bunch of waterslide decals there for the eyes. On the other side of the box, also in vertical format here, so there's once again a different character illustration and the kit side by side, so you can see that. And it's got face parts, yes, we know about that, and skirt parts, so you should have 2 different, or maybe 3 different skirt parts for that, just a kind of resting, blowing, and then sitting version of the skirt. And then accessories comes with the school briefcase bag, and then looks like a phone, and then maybe a kind of journal notebook kind of thing as well there. Alright, let's get it popped open in here. So we'll go through all the runners in just a moment. I just want to first find our way down here to the instruction manual and take a look at this here first. So the same artwork as what's on the front of the box. On the back side, just the Sosai Shoujo Teien logo there. Inside here, either this was not stapled in or it's just weirdly added in separately or something, I guess, apparently. But here's the parts list, which is in color. So that's kind of cool, I guess. You can see what color all the runners are for your reference, but then also it says English instructions available at kotobukiya.co.jp/instructions. So I guess if you want the instructions in English, they're available online there. That's kind of cool. Once again, just a couple of photos there of the kit, and then just illustrations of all the different facial expressions and things like that, I guess you could use for your reference. So we don't have all these faces pre-printed, but I believe we have like the eye decals for making all these different faces there. Over here, an alternate color scheme suggestion for this, so just mixing, or I guess this is maybe also mixing parts from something else, I'm not sure. Different hair parts from different kits, I believe. But yeah, so you can make different versions of that, variations of that, I guess just a different color scheme for the clothes there. That's all in Japanese. I would assume it's just a different high school color scheme or something. But anyway, then it's just on with the construction. So you go through all of that, and then just going to the back here, there's a little bit about swapping different heads. So if you want to use a head from a Frame Arms Girl kit or something like that, we've got an alternate neck joint piece that you can use for that, because the ball joint for the head is going to be slightly different. Then we've got the original color scheme simulation here, just line art that you can use. You can scan this into your computer or using your phone or whatever. Scan that, or just color right here on the paper if you want, but you can scan that and try out some different color schemes, and then you can even put your colors that you use down here on this page. So that's really nice, that's convenient. And then the color decal guide is over here on this side, where to place some of the decals, and then the suggested colors to use, that's all listed there in Japanese, but you can check that out. So first up here is a look at the waterslide decal sheet. You got plenty of decals there for the eyes and all sorts of different expressions, looking left, right, center, and then some decals over here for the pinstriping for the necktie. And our pre-printed faces here. You got the smiling face and a smiling face with a little bit more rosier cheeks, I guess is kind of the difference between those. Slightly different expression, ever so much, and then a little bit different kind of worried expression here for this one, and then a sort of angry, upset expression there. So actually 4 different face options we've got with this, and they all look very nice. We'll see those in use here on the kits in just a little bit. And then our other pre-printed parts are just going to be parts for the pants, for the standing version, then also for the sitting version. You've got a kind of different hip section that you build for that. And then we've got our hand tree, which is going to be including some open hands like so, some holding hands, some cell phone holding hands, and some different kind of open holding hands for holding onto like the kind of coffee cup, which is not included with this, but again, it's just for holding different accessories in this line. Runners A and B are going to be all of our skin tone parts here for the kit. So again, you're building 2 sections of the hip and thigh sections. That's why you've got 4 sets of thigh parts anyway. Runner C is this one tiny little white part here for the collar. Runner D is in a reddish brown color here for some hair parts, and the same thing for runner E here as well. A little combo breaker part here for runner F, as it's our shoe pieces there in black. But then runners G and H are back to more hair parts, including another little like a cell phone looking part there, I guess is what that is as well too. Runner I is a runner of blank faces, so if you wanted to not use the pre-printed ones but use some of those waterslide decals or just paint these in a different skin tone color or something yourself, you've got these as options, so that's very nice. Runner J is a few pieces there in white. Runner K is in skin tone and it's just for some wrist joint pieces. We've got 2 of the K runner. Runner L is in a light, slightly bluish gray color here for our different parts for the skirt. Runner M is basically all our parts for the jacket and a few little clothing bits in this navy blue color, and it's in a very nice kind of matte finish, so that should look really nice. Runner N is also in a dark navy blue color here for just a couple of joint pieces. Runner O is a few pieces here in white, looks like basically just for the socks. Runner P is our necktie piece with those pinstripes already pre-printed on there, so you don't even need to use the waterslide decals for this unless you were to repaint that. Runner Q is in a slightly off-white color here, looks like for like the pages of the book where they have like the closed book or the open book, so you've got some options there for those. Runner R is in clear and it's our glasses options pieces, including a set of folded glasses there as well too. It looks pretty nice. Runner S is the 2 halves of our school bag here in dark brown. And for whatever reason there is no T runner, so then we just skip to U, which is in this light seafoam green color there for the base. Looks very nice. And finally, in this kind of pale brown color is runner V for the parts for our book. That will both be closed and open version of that. So there you have it, guys. Lots of parts in there. Should be another fun build. I really enjoyed the first one, so let me go ahead and get this one built up and we'll see how they compare. Alright guys, so here she is, Koimi-chan, all built up and looking very nice. I will say the one thing that I am disappointed with this kit is the cuffs right around the hands, and we'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. But overall, very similar. If you guys are familiar with the original kit out in the line, then this one is going to be obviously pretty much basically the same. Overall, you got some nice option parts in there, and the kit looks great. You've got a bunch of seam lines on it though, but that's pretty normal for, you know, just any Mecha Musume kits, or just in this case, just again, just the regular Musume kits. But lots of seam lines on there. If you're interested in getting rid of those and painting, it's going to be a good amount of work, but again, shouldn't really be too surprising. Overall, lots of colors there, so I mean, it looks great just straight out the box, ignoring the seam lines and ignoring the plug hole in the back of her back there for the action base. But other than that, I mean, yeah, great looking kits. Not really that big a fan of the glasses though, but fortunately you have the option of omitting those in your option parts. Let's go ahead and go through those. So on the subject of the glasses and the heads, you have the ability to make all 3 different hairstyle heads at the same time, which is great. So you don't have to part swap or take anything apart to switch the hairstyles. All you have to do is just take the bangs off in order to switch the faces. So you got this hairstyle here, just kind of short hair like that. Then you got this version with the little pigtails there at the back, sort of like that. And then you have this version here with the hair kind of tied in the back and that little ribbon piece there on the back as well too. Now, for whether you want glasses or not, you have 3 of this type of bangs and 3 sets of glasses. So you could have all 3 heads with glasses on, or you have 3 of this type of bangs, which doesn't have the little notch cut out there to hold the glasses. So you could have all 3 without the glasses, so you have some options there with that. So it's great that you have plenty of options as far as the head goes. And again, we got 3 different hairstyle options, but 4 different face options. So we have another face as well too that I'll swap out for trying out some different poses later on. Moving down to the skirt section, you've got this one, which is just in a kind of resting pose. Then you've got this one, which is in a kind of wind blowing pose. Just a matter of taking that off, swapping this piece out like that, popping this back on. Now that's blowing in the wind, you can use that for doing some running or jumping poses or something, whatever you want to do to pose that. And our third option here is kind of for sitting. So you have a whole second set of thighs. So it's going to take a little bit more kind of part swapping here for this. Basically just pull the legs off underneath the knees, hop them onto this kind of fixed pose set here. So these are locked into this position. You can't, adjust the angle of those or anything. Just pop it together like that for a sitting pose, which is very nice. And then getting to the hands. So like I said, this is what's a little bit disappointing for me with this kit, is that the hand part, the kind of part which should be white, which is like her shirt coming out from the jacket there, is molded together with the hand, so you have to mask and paint that to make it white there around the edge of the hands. But we've got all our different hand options, which are going to be pretty easy to swap out. You just pop it out of there and just pop in the other hand like that. And I do feel like with these also you have a little bit of a gap there where you can see that's a little bit unsightly depending on like kind of how you pose the kit. I think the original kit in the line, the first one that came out, the Madoka kit was better in this in that it used actually separate pieces for the hand, so I think probably they had less articulation in them, but they looked nicer I think overall because it was a separate piece, then you had your hand piece and they fit together without any gap, and the color separation was better. So a little bit of a downgrade here with this one I think in that sense. And one last thing I'll say about the hands too is that it's a little bit disappointing with this kit. You don't have any closed fist. This is the kind of closest thing to a closed fist you have, which is just sort of like a kind of resting, could be used as a holding hand, sort of closed hand, I guess. And you also don't have any peace sign hands, which you had with the Madoka kit. Now, on that subject, if you have the Madoka kit, I just wanted to try out to see exactly how compatible this would be. This is one of the hand options from that kit, so you can see what I was talking about, how the color separation is better on that. But plugging it in, it fits in there fine, and actually looks like it blends pretty well as just part of her sweater, because you can see her sweater or like kind of inner shirt there kind of coming out underneath the jacket, and the style looks the same. It's just that the color is different. So if you're going to be painting, I would maybe recommend using some hands from the Madoka kit if you want. I think they ultimately look a lot nicer with this. It's just that the color doesn't match, but anyway, you can use that if you want to. So as for the other accessories, you've got the bag, which is again just two pieces sandwiched together, but looks nice, simple enough, nice color on that. And cell phone, which is unfortunately molded in the same color as her hair, so I think probably in your hand maybe not going to be as noticeable, but it's unfortunate that this wasn't molded on a different runner or something like that. Just to make this in black or something I think would have been nicer. But anyway, it's nicely detailed, little cell phone there. And you've got a kind of just a notebook here, which is just white on both sides. So I would definitely recommend maybe printing some sort of decal or something like that to stick on this, or painting the outside to make it look like something. But you've got a closed version and an open version of that. Then you've got a closed version and open version of a book, which is slightly larger. And this one looks nice because it is a separate piece for the inner and outer page. A piece for the pages in white, and then a piece for the cover here in this kind of dull brown color, which looks nice. So those are cool. And lastly, of course, in this seafoam green kind of color is just our action-based piece, or just kind of base, which should be helpful because the kit, for doing different poses and stuff, you might find it to be a little bit tricky because it is very, a little bit top heavy, very long, thin legs. So this definitely will come in handy. It's a simple but very effective base, as we've seen with all the different Megami Device, Frame Arms Girls kits. They all come with a very similar type base, except in that case it's usually circle, not this puzzle piece shaped. And I wish it was the case for this one as well too. I get that it's kind of cute being puzzle piece shaped, but I wish that it was just circle like the Megami Device and Frame Arms Girls kits. I just prefer the simplicity of those ones. So here are the two kits together, guys, and both kits have been a lot of fun to put together if you're into these kind of kits, I guess. If you like the Megami Device kits, the Frame Arms Girls kits, this type of thing. Obviously, this is just sort of a realistic look and less of, again, the sort of fantasy or science fiction mecha musume sort of look of the other one, so you have less of that kind of robotic kind of weapons aspect and things like that going on, but still a lot of fun to build these, and I enjoy them quite a bit. I'm looking forward to more in this series, as I'm sure Kotobukiya will continue this line for a long time. The thing is that I know that these kits are a little bit expensive, and honestly I would say they're a little bit overpriced really for what you get with them. I'm not really sure why Kotobukiya prices them the way they do, if I think more goes into them in terms of like just what they do with the plastics, but they also integrate like a mix of plastic finishes. Some are just like the normal plastic finish, and then some of them have that kind of more matte finish to the plastic. I mean, these type of things I know can add to the cost of kits, but honestly I'm not really too sure about how exactly they go about figuring out the prices of these. Just compared to other kits that are similar with a similar amount of plastic in them, they do seem to be honestly a little bit overpriced, but they are very fun, very cool if you're fans of this type of kit, especially if you're into doing like toy photography and things like that. If you want to use these for doing just setting up in some scale dioramas and things like that with a number of these all together. If you're into doing photography and things like that with your kits, I think these are great. They can also be a lot of fun to repaint, paint them in some different school uniforms or swap parts. You have the part in here as well, as we saw in the manual. It's just a different neck ball joint for you to be able to swap heads as well too, if you wanted to pop a head from a Frame Arms Girl kit onto this, for example. So as with anything Codebook Gear, there's a good amount of customization that you can do without having to really do any modification or anything. It's all pretty compatible. So really great kit. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think about the kit? Are you into these? Are you getting them or not? If so, or if not, what are your reasons for it? And if you guys are interested, do check the link to USA Gundam Store, where we've got kits like this and all sorts of different stuff there. You have the link to USA Gundam Store and the coupon code for you guys to use and save 10% off. That's down there in the video description. So check that out down there. Thank you so much for your guys' support. Thanks for watching the video today, for liking the video, commenting, subscribing. All that's greatly appreciated. So until next time, guys, hope you're all having a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.